So once again, within system administration, there is one of the pieces is learning how to manage permissions and file ownerships. And what it is an important task for system administrators. That is what we need to be aware of. And I'll be discussing the basic commands and concepts related to managing permissions and file ownerships within Linux. First of all, understanding file permissions on Linux files and directories uh, have three types of permissions: read, write, and execute, each with its own numeric value. Permissions are set for three groups: the owners of the file, the group of the owners, the file, and all other users. To view the permission of file using ls-l, that is a command that will print out a value of uh, permissions. And what I will show you right now is uh, chmod command. Now, as you can see, um, so these values are WX. R is for read, W is for write, X for is execute. So three sets of RWX, RWX, RWX. And you may wonder what is the first letter within this was it within this string, and that is the file type. It might be file, it might be directory, it might be block, or anything. So the first group is RWX is for user permissions, and the second block RWX is for group permissions, and the last group is for other permissions. So everyone else that is not inside the group or that is not uh, in the user permissions. So coming back to permission sets, uh, ls space -l command presents what I just showed you. And moving forward, how can we change files? Or file permissions. To change file permissions of a file, we need to use chmod command. For example, to give you the owner or the file name, we need to write and execute permissions and give all of other users no permissions using the following command: sudo chmod 700 and provide the file name. Now, the reason why you may wondering 700 is we're giving all the permission to the user, giving 0 permissions to the group and 0 permissions to others. Now, why 7? Because each value of read, write, and execute has its own numerical value. Combination of all those three values will give you number 7. So read is here. As you can see here. Or here, easily for you guys. to understand, or for me to understand in future references. Um, R is 4, W is 2, X is 1. So if we combine all of these numbers, it will give us, so as I was discussing, ls-l, as you can see, will provide the prompt, this prompt stating if you have access or what type of access does uh, the user, group, and others have. And based on the, was it based on the chmod, you're able to provide the value. If you want the user to only have read-only value, then you would change the 7 to 4. If you want the user to have only ability to read and write and not execute, then you would write 4 plus 2, which is 6. Uh, and for the others as well. So the first number 7 is this specifies the permission of the owner of the file, as mentioned. The second number specifies the permission of the group that the owns the file. And the third one specifies the permission of all the other groups or the other users event. And moving forward, changing file owners to change the file ownerships of the file using chown command. For example, to change the ownership of the file name, we need to use the user John using following command sudo chown John file name, and that will help us uh, changing the owner of a file. And moving forward, there is chgrp. Now, changing group ownership. To change the group ownership of a file using uh, chgrp command, for example, or changing the ownership of a file name to group developers, we need to use the following command: sudo chgrp developers, and provide developers is a group name, and provide the file name, which is the ownership of the file. And moving forward, um, we'll be discussing -r, which comes a lot within Linux. It is recursion. So setting permissions recursively. To set permissions for all the files and directories within a directory recursively, we need to use -r, and not lowercase -r, but capital case -r. The option with chmod command. Uh, for example, to give the owner of the directory read, write, and execute permission, and give all other users no permissions, and apply these permissions recursively, files and all the other directories within the directory of directory name, we need to use this following command: sudo chmod -r 700 directory name, and that will provide the user all the access, read, write, and execute. Group uh, will have zero access of reading it, writing it, and executing. And others will have zero access of reading and writing and executing. So these are just few basic commands and concepts related to managing permissions and file ownership on Linux. So there are many other options and tools available for managing files, permissions, and ownership, such as graphical user interface tools or more advanced command line utilities.